What is up, my fellow Bar9 warriors? This is Chris, and of course, this is my channel, Bar9 11970. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video. All right, guys, for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I talk a lot about symbolism. I talk about how if you're able to pay attention and listen to the kind of code things that are out there, you'll find messages in movies, in books, in cartoons, even in comic books, music, all these different areas. Video games, you could find them if you look hard enough. And obviously, if you don't understand meanings and symbolism, you're just going to see them as entertainment or just words or just pretty pictures in a background. What you want to decide they are, that's up to you. I'm not here to tell people anything other than what they choose to believe in. Now, speaking of which, somebody posted a link on my Facebook page, and I will post the link in the description so you can check it out for yourself, where somebody made a cartoon version of John Lennon's song Imagine. And then as I'm looking at each little image, it basically shows an image of each part of the song. I had one of those aha moments. Now, those of you, again, who have been watching my channel for a while know that I talk about the fact that you create your own universe. Everything is made of, in the universe, everything's made of light. Everything is held together through magnetism. And if you know anything about the movie The Secret, which is part of it, but you can also, if you look into quantum physics, quantum mechanics, listen to people like Greg Braden, who is an expert on this stuff, and a bunch of others. They all talk about how the fact that you can manipulate what is quote-unquote reality based on your thoughts and your perception. Greg Braden made a video, and I don't know offhand which one it is. It's about a 3-hour-long presentation that he did, where he talks about things like the double-slit experiment, which talks about how light can make a conscious choice. And they've actually proven that light has consciousness. That's why we are made of light. That's why even if you're religious, you know that the Bible talks about God is the light of the world and we are made in his image. So they're talking about the fact that we are made of light. It's all basically breaks down to science that we are nothing more than atoms which are made of energy. So with that being said, whether you believe in it or not is irrelevant, because belief has nothing to do with what's going on, but it can create your own reality. So in other words, whether you're right or wrong about something, you are actually right, because you are creating your own perception, which means you are altering basically your universe to be into what you perceive. That's why you see people that are more powerful and more knowledgeable are always ramming us with negativity and pain and fear and hatred, because they want those negative emotions, because if enough people think about it, it actually has it manifest, because it's based on consent, even if you don't know what you're consenting to. Like they say, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So, with that being said, as I'm looking at each frame of this cartoon version of the song Imagine, I started getting one of those epiphany aha moments. And what I realized is, the song is not saying, imagine there's a heaven, imagine all the people. In other words, he's not just saying, think about that concept. What he's saying is, that's what he wants you to actually do. He wants you to imagine it. Imagine there's no heaven. Imagine there are no countries. Imagine there's no religion too. It's easy if you try. So in other words, what if he knew, like so many people in the Illuminati know, that you can change your world based on your perception, and if enough people think about the same thing, it can actually change the course of quote-unquote reality. Then what if that song is a message that's not saying, just think about what that could be, but what he's saying is, think about that in your head. Think about that there's no wars. Think about that there's no religion. Think about there's no oppression. In other words, he's saying, imagine it, and you will create it. And if enough people think about that, it can happen. As a matter of fact, one of the things I want you to check out, and again, his name is Greg Braden, G-R-E-G-G-B-R-A-D-E-N, Greg Braden. The guy is super intelligent, and he talks about quantum physics. He talks about how the heart and emotions can actually change quote-unquote reality. I mean, it's incredible stuff. I mean, this guy's a scientist. He knows what he's talking about. He's not just some regular Joe Schmo like me. But I learned myself through research. So once you come to grips with the fact that reality is not what you think it is, because things like these scissors, they're not really solid. I'm not really technically touching it because of the fact if you go on a molecular level, this is nothing more than energy. This is nothing more than atoms, which is made of electric components. It's all electricity. And an atom is 99.9999999% empty space. So this is primarily over 99% empty. So it's basically because of the fact that molecules in my hand are either bigger or the same size as the molecules of this scissor, I cannot go through it. But when you're talking about light going through glass, isn't it technically going through something physical? Because you can't put your hands through a window, but light can. And again, it's just a different form of particles that are scattered. So I want people to really think about this. Now, obviously, it's only going to be for the people that come to my channel that have been doing a lot of research, that understand what's going on about how you could manifest and create your own quote-unquote reality based on your perception. That's why, again, you see the news media, the politicians, everywhere you go, it's always negativity, 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 fear, pain, hurt, jealousy, rage, all sexual things also. You're being bombarded with the lower vibrations, because if everybody thinks that there's going to be a nuclear war, or if everybody thinks there are terrorists out to get you, you actually can create that reality. And that's why you even see, like in movies and in comic books and all these things, they tell a quote-unquote fantasy, but they always have the same themes about the fact how you can alter your reality. Now, is that something where they're just making up a story? It sure could be, but is there something that's more to it that maybe that the average person doesn't understand? That is also a possibility. I'm not trying to tell you which way to sway. All I'm telling you is different ideas and my thoughts about this. So tell me what you think about that. I'm going to post the link to that comic strip that they made of Imagine, and think about that, where he's not just saying, just think about it. In other words, just, oh, that's a pretty picture, imagine it. He's saying he wants everybody to imagine it, so maybe if enough people do, they create it. Because they actually did an experiment that they weren't even doing. It was an accidental experiment. I don't remember the name of it, and if somebody does, please leave a link or mention it in the comments section, where governments throughout the world were regulating some kind of situation about the earth. I forget what it was, the pulsation of the earth, how it gets affected by people's thoughts. And then they found that on September 11th of 2001, all of a sudden there was this dramatic spike in the Earth's atmosphere, the electrical input. I'm not really sure about this. I apologize, but if somebody knows what I'm talking about, please post the link, because I know Greg Braden talks about this, but I'm sure others do. But they actually had these things that monitored a spike just as September 11th happened. And they concluded that people's emotions can actually affect the Earth itself. Now, unfortunately, like I said, I don't know the name of it or who actually talked about it, but this is something that actually has happened. So if anybody out there knows about this, please post the link, because I want people to see this. So they've actually proven that human emotions, when combined to a certain event, can actually affect the Earth. So if we start imagining and thinking about the fact that there are no more wars, that things are not going the way the media says, and enough people think about that, who's to say it doesn't change the perception of the quote-unquote reality? Because what is reality? Reality is nothing more than your particular perception of something. That's why you can have 100 people looking at an event, and you can have 100 different versions of what they saw, because their perception of what they're seeing is their own individual reality. It's almost like playing a video game where you have all these people online playing the same game. They're all in your game. So they go based on where you go. So they're going to see something different than you will. But again, they're all kind of seeing the same thing, just from different perspectives. So I'm going to leave it at that, under 10 minutes. If you appreciate these kind of things, like, favor, subscribe if you haven't. Give us your comments. Tell us what you think about that. And leave your messages after the beep. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, Barnon11970. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Have a great day. Peace.